Right. I will just start this one off by saying, so I don't know if I'm getting your name right. Is it Jonathan? I'm guessing that's the name, the name we have in English of Jonathan. Um, Hi. You're right. He is the star of the show. So you were all laid down there, Giz. You could have just carried on, but now you want to walk around in front of the camera. um, what else was I going to say? Giz, seriously, you were fucking lying down. Stay lying down, thank you. What was I going to say? Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, if safehouseradio.co.uk, and then I haven't written anything down. That's the radio, and Mikey MIKEE _ JAY is my Mixcloud. If you or anyone else wants to check out my DJing, but like I said, I didn't want to do too much. I don't want to really promo my DJ mix on here. I'm trying to keep everything separate and stuff like that because it's otherwise it becomes trying to promote your DJ show under the guise of a mental health channel, which is just weird. But yeah, I also wanted to pick up on what you commented on that I've just read. The part, I think it was where I was listing all of those things. Now it's interesting because I watched that video back this morning and I kind of watched it with fresh eyes. And I've also talked about a similar subject to a couple of people tonight down the road. And when I say it, I know I'm going, I think this and I think that and I think that. And as I listened to it, I thought, mate, they're not, because they never were thoughts. As like I always say, they're not thoughts, they're feelings. It's like their conclusions. It's like their knowledges. But what I thought was actually, no, they're what you lot have told me. That's what society's told me. Every single one of them is, even like I'm disgusting. That's always been my conclusion. When so many of your relationships have ended up with people literally pulling away from you in disgust. And that's what happened when you try to kiss people. And they go, oh, no. And they literally go like that. Ugh. And, if you're in a low mood and then your missus dumps you or she's about to, and the thing that clinches it is when you try to kiss her and she pulls away from you, you already think you're disgusting. There's your evidence. That's the kind of thing I was saying, is it's not a thought. It's like oh, yeah, see, I am. There's actions speak louder than words. And so very often it's people's actions. Sorry, because he's literally come on, well done. He was proper diagonal there, weren't you? It was proper diagonal. You were just in such a you had chosen that position that I wasn't touching you. You were fine. You could have just sat where you were and been stroked. But you had to reorientate everything, didn't you? Well, you can put up with my choice of seat, mate, or you can get thrown out the door. But no, that's the thing. It's like I say, they're paradigms, and those are sort of conclusions that are waiting to happen. And they're not me. They're not mine. They're not. This is one of the phrases I often use where I don't make sense to myself, and I need to explain myself to myself because I'm acting and responding as if something has happened, or as if someone feels a certain way, or as if I am irritating, as if I am unwelcome, as if da 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 da. And it all feels real. None of them are actually thoughts, and I shouldn't have been saying I think this, I think that, because that was the other part I was thinking about that. Is anything a thought or a feeling? If you think about it, like, so when I was 15, I used to work on a chicken farm, egg farm, and I used to collect eggs. And my mate gave me a lift home. So he was 16, so he had a motorbike, and I had a road bike, a racer. And so I was cycling home, and he worked at the same company but a different farm, just like a mile further up the road. And he's on his way home, and he pulled into my farm, and we were chatting and whatever. And I was like, "Can you tow me home?" So he did tow me home on the back of a motorbike. So I was on my bike holding on to, like, there was around the seat there was like a little metal rail that went around the seat, and I was holding on to that, and just with one hand and the other hand on the handlebars. I was like, this is cool. I'm going to lift. I was doing like 35 miles an hour on a racer. And as we're going along, his back wheel clips my front wheel, right? And I saw it coming, And I can remember even thinking this at the time, that it went like, oh fuck, that's gonna hit my wheel. Fucking hell, it's hit my wheel. I'm gonna come off. Fuck me, I've come off. And as I'm flying through the air, I noticed a car, and I thought, fuck, that car's gonna hit me. Then I looked at the floor and thought, this is gonna hurt. And then I thought, actually, it didn't hurt that much. And all of those things were rapid things. No one will have time when you're doing, say, 25 miles an hour. We were probably doing at the time. You just come off of the main road into the village. When you fall off a bike at that speed, it's like, it's an instant, you know. Just imagine it in your head, how long it actually takes. You have not got time to say all of those bloody words. Yet I knew that I'd had all of those thoughts. And I can remember commenting even as a kid that our thoughts really thoughts. I was always a whackball. Our thoughts really thoughts. You know, you don't actually go through all the words in your head. And when you think about it, do I actually have thoughts that are words? Or are they just knowledges? Because it's those knowledges that I'm on about that are all kind of skewed up in me, and are the things that are waiting to pounce on me, waiting to become me, as paradigms, as states of identification, just ways of, you know, just things that you already know without having to think about them. I'm trying to think of any sort of example, like I don't head for the ladies' toilet because I know I'm a man, and I know I'm looking for the shape of the man toilet. I don't need to think, am I a man? That's actually an interesting one for me with a massive female side. But that kind of thing, it's, you know what I mean? You're not consciously, when you're looking around, when you just go, when you're in like an airport or something and you need the loo, you just scan and you're looking for the little hieroglyph. You're looking for the little symbol. You're not thinking, I need the toilet and I am a male, so I need to look for the symbol that means male toilet. It's just automatic. And that's not, maybe not the right sort of example, but it's the kind of thing I mean. And so it's off the back of that I then respond to people. So if my inner twat that becomes me has decided that I'm annoying, I will now ask the next question to that person in a kind of not defensive, but in a cautious way of approaching them, because I've already concluded without having the thought that I'm pissing them off. So now I'm going to be more careful, or I'm going to think more about what I'm saying. So now that sets my anxiety off. And that's the kind of thing I mean, that I can be set off by something. And then none of them are beliefs about me as a person and my worth as a person, my validity and my value as a human being or anything like that. When I sit back and look at myself as a person, and I just, you know, I think I'm a fairly reasonable person and fairly fair. And if I look at myself reasonably and fairly and objectively, I think, of course, there's fuck all wrong with me. Why would I think that? Why would I think this is, you know, I'm just like everyone is ready to say, I'm just a totally average person. I just think, well, why am I having to see a fucking psychiatrist then? Am I just, you know, one of the lucky ones? I don't think so, mate. There is, I wasn't speaking to you, actually. That poor, I don't think so, mate. I wasn't talking directly to you. I was just saying, yeah, I'm not normal. Fuck anyone who says I'm fucking normal. They just clearly haven't taken the time to get to know me. You know what I mean? If you call me normal, that means I'm going to piss you off, quite frankly, because you're going to be expecting normal from me, and I've been warning everyone to not do that. Don't expect normal from me. We'll be fine. I said it to a geezer down at the barber's when he asked me a question. I think it was about the makeup, and he asked me so, and he just seemed a little bit whatever. And I'm good mates with the guy now, but I just went, mate, I'm fucking weird. Right? And he just started giggling. I said, there's going to be a lot of shit that's going to just seem a little bit fucking weird. But if you expect that, you'll be fine with it. I said, if you start talking to me like I'm just a normal person, and then this weird shit starts happening, you'll start to go, oh God, he's weird. And he got it. He did get it. I'd get on fine with him. Yeah, that's that. I think that's the thing that I'm always battling with. That is the thing I'm always battling with. Today, what have I done? I've been what was I? I don't know. I'm going to blame one of my girl influences here, and I did say I was going to do that. So I'll blame her for fucking everything. You see what she's done to my fucking fingernails. But I was basically being a bit of a bitch in the face of my motivation, and that's another very interesting point actually, is this thing about, come on mate, you've had enough fucking excuses, get on and do that fucking work. And I was just literally going, yeah, I will. And I just knew I fucking would. I was like, I will. And it was like, well, it's 9 o'clock and it's 10 o'clock, and I fucked around, and then I didn't even train. I've done not a great deal. I went out to the shop, I got chatting to some mates and stuff. But I kept thinking, you're going to get on and do it. And there was a difference in the confidence I had about knowing that I would do it later. Whereas sometimes it's like, if you're in the mood, do it now, because you know what it's like if you put it off. Blah, 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 blah. But there was just something, I was almost being bitchy, like, look, I said I would fucking do it later, because I'm going to fucking do it later. Don't ask me to do it now, because I'm going to do it later. And I was being like that with myself. Just stop fucking nagging me, you. I know what I'm fucking doing. Don't have a fucking go at me. I can't even get on with me. I'm that much of a twat. I don't even like myself. Fuck on, don't I? Go on. But I was literally being a stroppy fucking bitch to myself. And a couple of times I was thinking, you're not going to do it again, are you? You're not even going to fucking do it. And I just sat down and did about 4 hours. And it's going well. And it's, again, that was one of the things. I'm not going to have time to cover it all in this video, but I'm going to touch on it and then we can do the rest tomorrow. But it was about the motivation to do it, and some of the motivation to do it is like, come on, you said you would do it. You said you would be, when I messaged on Friday and I was thinking, should I ask for a day or two? So I just said a day or two. And then he said, don't worry about it, which I took to mean, it doesn't matter if you take 5 days. But again, I just took that sort of worst case scenario approach. So I was like, what is the worst that could happen then if he was actually hoping you'd have something done by today, and now it's not going to be till tomorrow and into the end of tomorrow or something? And what would he do if he was pissed off? He'd just say thanks, but no thanks. He'd get on and do it anyway. And when I eventually got in touch with him, he said, oh, thanks, Mikey, for looking into that. I've actually got on and done it anyway. And he wouldn't have a go at me, because charities don't do that. Volunteer organisations don't do that. And they've got a lot of experience around the types of people that might volunteer and the issues they might be facing, that sort of stuff. And they're always grateful for anything that you have done, not anything that you haven't. And if you haven't done the things that you said that you have, they never will show disappointment or generally. The worst thing they'll usually say is, we don't have anything for you at the moment, but thank you for your interest. Because they always have to fucking recognise that people are offering to work for free. So, worst case scenario is that doesn't happen. I think, okay, so maybe I wasn't ready to meet deadlines. But again, I don't need to beat myself up about that. It's like I've had this in my hand and in my head for 4 days now, but I keep having little ideas and thinking about things and just making comments on it. And that's what he's asked me to do. He's asked me to research them. So I'm doing it. Sometimes you need to come back to something and you need to think about something and come back to it. And that's all I'm doing. And it just took all that pressure off trying to finish. It was like, I either will finish or I won't finish. Anyway, time really is getting on. So I will wrap this one up and think of some sort of a name for it. But it's very interesting. I always wanted to do this. I wanted to have people comment on my videos and then me actually speak back to them in another video. And that started to happen, which is fantastic. But thank you for your interest and all your comments. You're very supportive. And I will sign off.